Most people would trade San Francisco for heaven and call it an even swap. If heaven would throw in a couple of outfielders and 20,000 cash. You don't get much argument, but down on the waterfront, it's a little tougher to prove. The Embarcadero's on the west side of the bay, and the piers stretch out different sizes like straws on an old broom. The piers start from south of the ferry building and stagger clear past the China docks and hide somewhere out of sight. Pier 23. That's where I come in. Me, Denny O'Brien. I rent out boats and do anything else that means long odds and short hours. My sideline's trouble. And as long as I get paid, I can't be responsible for the guys who hire me. Anyhow, it's a way to make a living. And if you never save enough to get married, at least you got enough to leave town on. Down at the waterfront, everything's as hard to peddle as a second-hand toothbrush. And a set of morals won't cause any more stir than Mother's Day in an orphanage. Fisherman's Wharf, San Francisco's own. And if you love seafood, this is paradise. Market Street. This is the hub, where I always get the latest edition of the paper. Yes, sir. This town's really got some good points. There's the opera, for instance, and the Presidio. I'm a pigeon for an auction sale. They draw me like Hoppy pulls the kids. I needed to buy things like Eisenhower needed more medals.
I don't know what it's like with the various attachments. One for grinding meat and the regular batter mixer. Now, who'll start the bidding off with a nice substantial bid of, say, $5? Do I hear $5? $5, thank you very much. I've got $5, $5, $5, $5. I want to hear 10. I've got 5 and I want to hear 10. 10. Thank you very much, madam. I've got $10. Who'll say 15? I've got 15. Thank you very much. I've got 15 now. Do I hear 20? Do I hear 20? 20. Thank you very much. $20. I'm up to 20. 22.50. Thank you very much, sir. We're up to 22.50. Do I hear 25? 25. $25. Thank you very much, madam. We're up to $25.
Mind if I sit down?
$25. Do I hear?
Your legs, lady. If they're tired, rest them.
Oh, thanks. You didn't seem to mind the view from over there.
As a matter of fact, it was better from over there.
Oh, no, you're not leaving. Please don't go, Steve.
If I stay, will it make you proud?
Well, I want you to do me a favor. It's a small one, and there won't be any trouble.
That's too bad. I like trouble.
They're going to auction off a black leather suitcase in a few minutes. It belongs to me, and I must have it back. Will you bid for me?
You speak the language. Bid it in yourself.
I can't. There are good reasons, believe me. If you'll bid for me, I'll give you 50 for yourself.
You hired yourself a bidder. How high do I go?
Top every bid. I want that suitcase at any price.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the next item of special interest. In fact, I wish I could afford to bid for it myself.
This is it.
It's this fine black leather suitcase. Why, the leather alone is worth at least $25, and it's handmade. Now, I've got a secret to tell you. This little suitcase is locked, and we don't have the key. There's no telling what you're going to find inside. Now, who's got sporting blood?
$2.
$2. Why, that's an insult. Why, the leather alone is worth more than $25. Who'll say 15? Do I hear another bid?
$10.
10, the man says. That's more like it. Who'll give 25? I've heard 10, 10, 10. Who'll give 25?
Start pitching for our team, mister.
25.
$25. 25. Who'll say 50?
50.
Now we're getting somewhere. This is action. The gentleman bids 50.
Double it.
100.
The man in the back row bids 100. Now, who'll give 200? Come on, folks. Let's get with it.
200.
You get competition, lady.
I've got you. Keep bidding.
300.
500.
That suitcase must be filled with gold.
It is.
That's what we like here, action.
700.
800.
800. I've got $800. The bid is 800. I want 1,000. Don't give up now, mister. I've got 800. Who'll say 1,000?
Can you take it off your income tax?
You make the noises. I'll juggle the figures.
1,000.
$1,000, ladies and gentlemen. $1,000. Who'll say 1,500? I've got 1,000. Who'll say 1,500 now? All right, ladies and gentlemen. $1,000. For the first time, $1,000. All right, for the second time, $1,000. For the third and last time, $1,000. Sold to the gentleman in the rear of the house for $1,000 if you'll just step right up and claim your suitcase.
Here's the money. You go get the suitcase and hurry back.
Sure.
Look, don't let him open it. Whatever you do, don't let him open it.
It's your party.
Okay.
It comes from the Rockefeller collection, but it is a good electric alarm clock. Now, all you have to do to take this lovely clock home with you is to start the bidding right now. Thank you, sir. If you just sign your name there, the suitcase is yours. By the way, I've got a little bunch of keys here. What say we open up the suitcase and show the folks what's inside?
Just one of my relatives.
Thank you very much, sir. And now, ladies and gentlemen, just to stimulate the bidding a little bit, I'm going to step off and bring on a brand new item.
Hey, Pop. Where's the girl? The blonde with the dark glasses.
To jail term, son. I don't follow 'em home anymore.
Look, she was here just a minute ago. You must have seen her leave.
No.
She had to go right by you to get out. Come on, think, Pop.
No, son. Not when you get to be my age.
Well, the blonde was gone. I felt kind of silly. The same way you do when you're being fitted for new shoes and discover you got a hole in your sock. I expected to find anything from a bunch of telephone books to gold bricks. But what could I do with this thing? I wondered why that guy was bidding against me. And what happened to the girl who paid $1,000 for a horn? For $1,000, you can buy a whole brass section.
Doesn't little boy Blue want to blow his horn?
You looking for talent, or did you drift into the wrong dressing room?
I'm just looking for a smart boy.
My name's O'Brien. You could be right.
I'm the guy you left behind at the auction.
Yeah, I know. Now that you've made yourself at home, let's get acquainted. What's your name?
Dunlap. Larry Dunlap. Now trot out the girl who was coaching you.
Sorry, I'm no Houdini. And I wasn't any part of her disappearing act. I don't even know her name.
I'll make it easy for you. Her name's Claire Underwood. I wouldn't trust her unless I found her dead in the cemetery.
Yeah? What do you want from me?
I'll take the suitcase you bought at the auction.
You know, apart from the fact that you didn't find any welcome mat outside, I paid $1,000 of somebody else's money for that suitcase, which, according to law, gives them title to it. Do you want me to repeat that in words of one syllable?
Look, O'Brien, I didn't come here to listen to a lot of lip. That sax happens to belong to me.
You ought to take better care of your toys.
Gonna give it to me, or shall I start hunting?
You better get yourself a hunting license. That sax can't be all that important.
It is to me. Maybe I want to start a hot shop.
I think I'll hang on to it for my client. We've still got some unfinished business together.
I'll double whatever she promised you.
$1,000 $50.
Just doubled your salary, $100, okay?
Pay as you enter.
I pay on delivery.
When I started coming to, my head felt the size of a social worker's heart. But I was enjoying the pretty pictures until I saw that badge and the puss of Inspector Brugger of San Francisco Homicide.
Making a wish, O'Brien?
Well, if I am, it didn't come true. You're still here. Oh, I think my hips crushed. The bones are sticking through the skin.
Broken bones. Junk.
Junk, he says. My favorite English briar.
All right, Kelly, wait for me outside.
What are you collecting?
Alibis. What's yours for last night at 12 o'clock?
Depends on what night this is.
This isn't night. The sun's shining and it's Thursday.
I was in bed.
You got a witness?
Oh, why?
How about the guy you bought that suitcase from?
Tell me more.
The auctioneer, Cole, says the $1,000 you gave him got homesick and left. He says somebody robbed him before he had a chance to count it good. What's your story?
Why does Cole think I'm an Indian giver?
He says you paid him a return visit and helped yourself to the $1,000. Let's have the pitch.
Well, it's a wild one, Brugger. You see, I was forced to do this dame a favor.
I bet you force easy.
Well, as a matter of fact, I was bidding in a suitcase for her at an auction, and while I was up paying and signing for the suitcase, she took a powder on me. Well, thank you.
You got a very active memory. Can you think of her name?
Sure. Claire Underwood. Run her down and see what he gets you.
What's her connection with Charlie Beebe?
What's a Charlie Beebe?
He was a musician. Somebody shot him dead.
Never heard of him.
Maybe you just heard of his instrument.
Oh. Let me guess. It was a saxophone, huh? You know, Brugger, I don't get this. You're covering an awful lot of territory. A murder, I can understand, but a robbery...
Robbery detail gets this call from Cole about somebody holding him up for $1,000 they paid for a suitcase with a saxophone in it. So they trace the saxophone and find out it's Charlie Beebe's. They know I'm on the Beebe case and they tip me off. Simple, huh?
Yeah, too simple.
I think that saxophone is connected with the murder. Where is it?
I don't know. A torpedo named Larry Dunlap walked in and sapped me for it.
Yeah? How hard did he sap you, O'Brien?
Hard enough. Why?
Because there's blood on the carpet here. It can't be yours. You don't have any. How'd it get here?
Why, I don't know. Maybe somebody got lost and figured this was a blood bank.
Or maybe they thought it was a morgue and left a body. I'll look around.
Yeah, look under the carpet. Maybe it was a little guy.
Okay, O'Brien. I'm not taking you in yet. But if there's blood, there must be a body. It'll show. And when it does, we'll turn it in for yours.
You'll have to stand on your head to pin this one on me.
Maybe I will.
Shouldn't be too hard for you at that. Square head. There was a line of question marks during a time step in my foggy brain. Why did that lug Dunlap slug me? Who left blood on my rug as a deposit? How come a brass horn would bring $1,000? Maybe that sax was solid gold after all, huh? That babe must have known what was in the suitcase. Why make a red cap of me? And where's my $50 tip? I better talk to my roommate, ex-Professor Frederick Simpson Schicker. Ex because he'd found glasses more inspiring than classes, provided the glasses had one of the three fates in them: Scotch, rye, or bourbon. Oh, Professor, you're an angel from heaven. I was just going out to look for you.
Well, the instinct of the homing pigeon, my boy.
You must have mislaid that instinct last night. Where were you?
Do I question your whereabouts? Only the unfortunate discovery that I had run out of funds occasioned my return at the moment. As you know, the soulless minions of commerce demand cash on the line. And, you know, my boy, I had $5 stashed here somewheres.
Yeah, well, forget it for now. We got trouble.
What is the nature of your trouble, Dennis?
Well, a flashy dame named Claire Underwood caught up with me at Cole's auction place, and after I left the professor, I ran over my leads. You could have counted them on one finger, and you'd still have to cheat. I decided the first guy to look up was the auctioneer.
We're closed until the night sale, mister. I told you we're closed right now. But if there's anything I can do for you...
You can tell me a straight story. The one you told the police that got them polishing up the electric chair for me.
You're the guy that bought the black suitcase.
You got a good memory. How good is it for robbery?
Well, it was dark outside. Someone hit me from behind. I thought it was you. When I come to, $1,000 was missing, so I called the cops. Well, after all, you guys went off your rocker with that bidding. I never figured you'd go that high. So when I found an even grand was missing, I figured maybe you wanted your dough back.
Your story started fast, but you're fading in the stretch. Another thing. Just a little mistake. But that dough wasn't mine.
But a gun in your pocket?
If it'll make you talk about that suitcase, I'll say yes.
Well, I don't know what you mean. I told you were taking a chance when I put that suitcase up for sale, remember? I gotta make a living.
You don't have to crowd the mint. Now, look. Just what is it about that suitcase that gives it a $1,000 price tag?
I don't know, I tell you. I don't know a thing.
You're lying.
It was just a suitcase. Another suitcase with a sax in it.
So you knew what was in it all the time?
Well, a guy's got to live.
It's a matter of opinion. Go ahead.
Well, it was a nice sax. I know something about musical instruments, and this one was 1 in 10,000, so I called a friend of mine, a hotshot musician. I thought he might be interested.
What's the friend's name?
Becker, yeah, Bud Becker. He plays the tenor sax at the Downbeat Club. I sold him the whole works for $200. That sax was something real special, huh?
Yeah. You should have held out for more dough.
Look, Becker's a friend of mine on my wife's side. You wouldn't hurt him, would you? I mean,
Stop stuttering. You give your kids a complex. The sax player I wanted to see was out front blowing his brains out, so I went back to the dressing room where the musicians grabbed their second wind with the short one.
Hello, Denny. You don't look angry.
It's the scenery. What are you bidding on here?
Take a guess.
All right. I'll guess you killed Charlie Beebe for a saxophone.
Guess again. Why would I kill anyone for a saxophone?
You tell me why it was worth $1,000 and I'll answer your question.
All right, Denny. Maybe I'm sentimental. Charlie Beebe was my boyfriend, and I wanted to keep his sax as a memory.
Must have been quite a memory.
You didn't meet Charlie.
No, but I met Larry Dunlap. He wants a sax, too. Why?
How should I know? Maybe he's taking lessons. Please, Denny, if you'll just leave now, I promise you, I'll give you double what I owe you from the auction.
Not enough. Count up your bills, lady, and tell me how much a murder rap's worth.
We can haggle about that later. Meet me at the Ajax Hotel, and I promise you, you'll get a better figure.
You gonna add some interest?
The music stopped, Denny.
So what? We're not dancing.
I know, but you're hurting me.
Start telling me about a sax.
I told you I've got to see Becker first. Then I'll tell you everything.
After you talk him out of his horn?
Yes. Is it a deal?
You're too anxious to sign. But it's a deal.
Yeah, Professor?
A refill, Henry, prepared with your own incomparable mastery, which transmutes the vilest of rot-gut into nectar fit for the gods.
Them big words get me, Professor. They sure sound nice. But from there on, they're past me. Now, you want a refill, is that it?
Your capacity for lucid deduction uplifts my soul, Henry. Ah, Dennis, you're a welcome sight.
Why the table? Did you fall off the bar?
I paused here for but a moment of surcease. A drink for Mr. O'Brien, Henry.
One like his, mister?
Not like anybody. Skip it.
Skip it?
His is a mundane soul. Humor him, Henry. Bring it to me instead. Bring the bottle.
Yes, sir.
Well, Shecker?
First communique, meager, but not utterly unsuccessful. It seems the Underwood filly has done time.
Yeah?
6 months, I believe, for shoplifting. But 'tis rumored that upon emerging from her incarceration, she was destined, if not for better things, at least bigger.
Uh-huh. Oh, proceed.
Well, your Mr. Dunlap had a predilection for merchandise, best described in the parlance of the half-world as hot.
What about Beebe?
The late lamented Mr. Beebe was a society musician, in demand at coming-outs, receptions, and the like. 'Tis rumored that his worst crimes were in the cause of music, with his saxophone.
A society sideman, a shoplifter, and a fence. That's a cozy little trio.
Yes, Dennis, but what does it all add up to?
A headache. Well, I've got a date. You go on down to headquarters. If Sergeant Riley's on the desk, you might get a lead from him. Call me later.
I'll do that, Dennis.
And, Professor, go easy on the lemonade, huh?
Oh, I've given it up, my boy.
There wasn't much I could do except wait for Claire to show at her hotel. The clerk told me Claire hadn't come home yet, but for $5 he could tell I was a friend, and he gave me her key. I cased the joint, and everything was gone from the closet but the mothballs.
Can I come in, O'Brien?
You're a big boy now, Dunlap. Make up your own mind.
Where's Claire?
You're early. I guess she's still busy.
I'll wait.
Maybe a long wait. I'm not going to hang around.
The fun's just beginning. Sit down.
I guess I am tired.
Yeah. This heater makes everybody drowsy. Now, what are your connections with Claire?
What are you doing, writing a gossip column?
No, the obituary. And you're going to make the morning deadline.
You're too cocky, Dunlap. Better not turn your back. Or did you already?
Yeah, on Claire. Her aim was bad. The best she could do was wing me.
So it was your blood that ruined my carpet.
Listen, when they pass the hat for your funeral, I'm going to be generous. In the meantime, you just stay put till Claire gets here with the saxophone.
I hope she's got plenty of groceries in the icebox, because if you're going to wait here till you get that saxophone, we'll both die of starvation. She's not going to show.
What makes you a prophet?
A guy named Bud Becker. He had the sax last. She was warming up an argument with him.
Keep spouting. What are the rest of her plans?
Well, now, she was warm, but she wasn't sending up smoke signals. Oh, we got company.
Hey, what's this? Aren't you in the wrong room? Claire said...
Are you Becker?
Yeah, Bud Becker.
Claire said for you to come up here and wait for her, didn't she? She said she'd be along after a little bit and you two would spend a comfortable evening alone together, huh?
How'd you know? I mean, she said to come here. She said to wait for her.
Look, fella, cut the lip. Just tell me where you left her.
She was at the Downbeat Club. I don't feel so good. She just said to meet her here. I feel kind of woozy. I guess I gave the new sax too big a ride tonight.
The one you bought from Cole?
Yeah, and what a sweetheart. You know how you look all your life for a horn like that, and then all of a sudden, zoom, you see it.
What did Claire want tonight?
She wanted to buy it. But can you see Heifetz peddling his Strad? You know, after I played that thing just once, gee, it'd kill me to give it up. I feel sick. I'm gonna go home.
Well, you'll never make it on your knees. What's the matter?
I don't know. I guess somebody must have slipped me something.
You know what it was, kid? Sure, it's your 2 weeks' notice.
You want a spree, O'Brien?
Yeah, if you're footing the bill.
Who's your friend?
He's nobody's friend now. His name was Bud Becker. He was a musician at the Downbeat Club.
And his wallet's empty. How long you been here?
There's long enough to catch the last act.
Mrs. Brugger, give me homicide. Hello, I got a customer for the dock here. Send the wagon to the Ajax Hotel. Yeah, and I want a lab report fast. I tail a guy named Dunlap here and I find you. A dead body. I think he's been poisoned.
Well, don't look at me. Talk to Claire Underwood.
What about?
When I left her at the Downbeat Club, she was warming up an argument with him about his sax.
Did she get it?
I don't know. But if she didn't, Dunlap's wasting man hours. He just left here, and I got an idea she's on his list.
Yeah, and I'm about to get an idea myself.
Does it hurt?
I think you and that Underwood dame are running some kind of racket, and she left you behind the front floor.
You haven't seen her, Brugger. She doesn't need that kind of help.
All right, big shot, you can be on your way. But don't think you're in the clear. I think you're in this up to your ears, and I'll go a long way to get you. A long way.
I'll be around. Hello. Yeah, Schick, I just walked in.
Oh, Dennis, I've been trying to get you. You were right about the cozy little trio, only you didn't know how cozy.
Okay, enlighten me.
The late Mr. Beebe and the girl were good friends. But Mr. Beebe was in the process of forming a mutually profitable partnership with your Mr. Dunlap, including Miss Underwood out.
Uh-huh. And Miss Underwood found out about it, didn't like the idea, so she included herself in. And Beebe
Is forcibly assisted to his reward, shall we say.
with a $1,000 saxophone playing the funeral march.
Riley tells me Brugger is greatly agitated about you, Dennis. He thinks you're planning a drastic step to evade justice. Someone ordered a reservation on the 2 a.m. plane to Mexico in the name of D. O'Brien.
I'm being jockeyed, Professor. It's either Claire or Dunlap. Look, I'm going to go out to the airport, but I want you to do a quick job for me first. A musician named Bud Becker kicked off about an hour ago. Now, Brugger sent his buddy down to the morgue for a lab report. I want you to see if you can find out what that report was and phone me back. Yep. Well, I'll wait here for 10 minutes. All right, thanks. Yeah? What'd you find out?
The lab report shows Becker died of poisoning.
All right, thanks. I'm going out to the airport and see what I look like taking a plane for Mexico. Bye. You could word it any way you like, but the big riddle was still that saxophone. Claire had it, and Dunlap wanted it. And a couple of guys had died for it.
Sorry I had to borrow your name, Denny.
You're too little for it, baby.
I've got a big ego, Denny, and this gun bolsters it.
Tell it's a homicide. They'll take a nibble out of either you or Dunlap.
Well, you better throw him Dunlap. I've got a date in Mexico City.
It's a blind date, Claire. You're going in the wrong direction.
Well, quite a bon voyage party.
Why, Larry, I thought you'd go.
I want that case and the saxophone.
You won't need this kind of music where you're going, Larry.
If I go, you go with me, sweetheart.
Get out of my way, left.
Nice work, O'Brien. Even if you did let the girl get away.
I thought I'd give you a break, Brugger, and let you nab one of them. I knew you'd be waiting at the plane to put the handcuffs on me.
Now you flatter yourself. We've been tailing Miss Underwood ever since we spotted her opening a safety deposit box at the bank.
Safety deposit? Well, sure, that's it. Where's that sax?
You play request, too?
Yeah, only nothing but Faust comes out. The Jewel song.
Wow. $500,000 worth of right answers.
So that's why they wanted the instrument.
Sure.
Then what?
I think Claire and Beebe were operating as a team, jewel thieves. They stashed the stuff in a box at the bank.
Did she kill Beebe?
I think so.
But what about the sax?
Well, if you ask Claire real nice, I think she'll tell you that it held the key to the whole thing. A key to a box full of pretty baubles.
Well, where does Becker fit in?
Well, it's a funny thing, but he was the only one who was interested in the horn because it played pretty notes. So he swapped it to Claire for a Mickey. That was one time he really played music that was out of this world.
Maybe your luck is changing, Dennis. Maybe you'll stick to renting boats for a while.
Well, maybe.
Ah, company.
You're O'Brien, aren't you?
It's too late to change now.
You got a crummy layout, fella.
If this is a tax estimate, I'll agree with you.
Just an observation. Your boat's in any better condition?
They'll go as far as the gas will take them. What's on your mind?
I want to rent one of them tonight. The name's Spadley, Edgar Spadley.
Sounds like a cop.
Well, that's close. I'm a private detective.
Yeah? What program?
I got a job I can't handle myself. I thought maybe I could throw it your way.
Maybe you can. Start throwing.
Does $50 sound easy?
Not the way you say it. Pitch me another one.
I want to hire you and your boat tonight. I got a client, a girl from Nob Hill. I want you to take her out to a yacht party this evening.
Was she lonely or slumming?
Don't be self-conscious, O'Brien. She just hates to go to parties alone.
If she's got money, she's got friends. Let one of them take her.
It's a fast crowd. She wants somebody who can keep her out of trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Strong liquor and strong men.
What's the matter? Hasn't she got any willpower?
She hasn't proved it yet.
What's her name?
Vicky Jason. But if you get real friendly, you'll think up one of your own.
You'll never be out of a job, Spadley. Where do I find her?
She'll find you. Be at Pier 23 about 8:30.
What's the name of the boat?
It's called the Sea Breeze, anchored just north of Goat Island. You got it?
Yeah. Everything but the $50.
Yeah. Here. It's an easy 50.
Never easy. By the time you're through, it all earns hard.
Oh, stop beefing. Wait till you see her. There's a lot of guys that'd give their right arm just to go out with her.
I'll bet if you set the deal, they did, too. Hey, Professor.
Hello, Dennis, and goodbye.
I'm aware of your delicate condition, but you'll have to pardon the intrusion. What do you know about a private eye named Spadley?
Edgar Spadley?
Yeah, that's him. What about him?
Never heard of him. He's a confidence man, Dennis, who parasites on a dozen illicit enterprises commonly known as rackets.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
What's your connection with him?
Oh, I made a little deal with him. Take some dame off his hands for tonight.
Have you suddenly gone soft in the cerebrum? Taking a dame off the hands of Edgar Spadley, as you put it, is like starting a new political party in the Kremlin.
Maybe I should have held out for a little more dough, huh? I could use the $50 all right, but it still didn't look good. It was like getting a crutch for a Christmas present.
Good evening, Mr. O'Brien.
That depends.
Yes, it does.
I don't understand it. Where is everyone?
Surprised, aren't you?
Maybe we came a little early.
Maybe about a week too early, huh?
The invitation said tonight. You believe me, don't you, Denny?
For $50, do I have to?
I would for less.
I believe you would.
All right, stop pouting. As long as we're going to be here alone, we might as well enjoy ourselves. I'll mix us a drink.
Hey, mix me a story. What'd you drag me out here for?
You sound like a husband, Denny. We just met.
Does that slow you down?
Just a little. But the drink will warm me up. May I pour you one?
Sure.
All right, Denny. Say when.
You'll have your own ideas about that.
I'll work on them.
Look, lady, give me a hint. What are we playing?
Don't be so reluctant, Denny. Is there anything wrong with me?
What do your friends say?
They're usually crazy about me.
How bad?
You make me sound conceited. Don't you like women?
Yeah. Only I get my thrills from a billboard.
That's just propaganda. Come here and try some of the real thing.
All right. What'll it lead to?
Does it matter now?
It matters later.
Then we'll worry later. Try it again, Denny. You started a little late anyway.
That's fine, hold it. So make a great picture. The papers will eat it up.
I should have known.
What's the meaning of this?
Well, ask your husband. He thinks it'll look good enough to win a divorce.
I'm sure of it, darling. You're going to lose everything this trip. I'm cutting you off without a cent.
You forget alimony, darling.
Not with the evidence in this camera. And I'll name your boyfriend as co-respondent.
Look, mister, I was framed in this thing. Your wife and I aren't even friendly.
That goes for all of us. I know your kind. I know all about you, O'Brien.
What do you do, write to my mother?
You'll be writing to the governor if you don't leave now.
Okay, I'm leaving. Excuse me.
You'll hear from me, O'Brien. You'll hear from me.
All right, I'll hear from you.
You'll hear from me right away.
Tell me, Spadley, does he mean I'll be hearing from him? I knew I had to see Jason and square things with him. The next morning, I called his office and found out he'd gone back out to his boat. When I walked into the main cabin, Jason was stretched out, as dead as last year's love.
Hello. What are you looking for?
A way out.
Well, how'd you get on board?
I knew a termite. Now it's your turn to lie.
I don't have to. I'm Sheila Bates. Arnold Jason is my uncle.
Well, you picked a good time to be a relative.
What are you talking about?
Arnold Jason's dead.
Arnold dead? He couldn't be.
Does he sleep with his eyes open?
Then you killed him, didn't you? I remember you now from that picture. You're O'Brien, aren't you? You did it.
I can say yes to part of that.
You were in love with my aunt. I heard all about it. So you decided to get rid of Arnold.
Listen, sweetheart, I met your uncle once. The only thing I had against him was your aunt.
Don't talk that way about my aunt. She's a fine woman.
Sure. Only your uncle complained.
They just didn't get along, that's all.
That's reason enough. Maybe she shot him.
She wouldn't have. A divorce is much easier.
Yeah, it's cheaper, too. Maybe she killed him for his money.
You're wrong again, Mr. O'Brien. The will reads, everything goes to me. That takes her out, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it kind of puts you in. You're building up a big lead.
All right. We'll do it my way, then.
Why don't you use your chin? It's prettier than that gun.
It's softer, too. I found you with my uncle's body, Mr. O'Brien. We'll let the police decide who looks guiltier.
I'm awfully sorry, darling, but I don't have time. You know, you're kind of a tough family. There. That's better. Now, I'll see you later.
I'll call the police. They'll get you. You won't get far.
What makes you think I want to get far? I'll just leave you here to cool off. Bye.
Hello, Brian. How do you feel?
You want my temperature?
No, your confession. Are you ready to talk about Arnold Jason?
No.
I think we've got a sure thing this time, O'Brien. We've got you tied down better than a guy with 8 kids.
You'd believe anything a girl told you, Brugger.
If it pins you down to a murder, I would.
Look, if you got a case, roll it out. The guy was dead before I got there last night.
That's one man's opinion.
Why would I kill the guy?
Too many women, too much whiskey, how'd I know?
I got hired to take a dame named Vicky Jason to a yacht party last night. I got paid $50 for the job. At that price, I can do without love.
I don't know your problems, O'Brien, but in the picture I saw, you weren't talking politics with the dame.
I got roped into that scene.
You even tied your own knot.
Look, I tell you, I never saw the girl before. I didn't even know she was married.
Sheila Bates had a better story.
Well, she had more time to make it up. Why don't you check on her in the will? She gets all the dough.
I don't think she's the type.
Brugger, you wouldn't know a plant if it was sticking out of your lapel. I tell you, one of the Jason bunch tumbled the guy, and they're using me for a patsy.
There'll be less scandal that way.
Yeah, and more noise. Why don't you pick up a private eye named Ed Spadley? He conned me into the deal.
I should take the word of a shamus.
All right, then check on what time Sheila Bates called homicide last night.
What does that give me?
A little sense, maybe. At least you'll know what time I was supposed to have killed the guy. And if that checks with the time he died, I'll give myself up.
Let's go downtown now, big shot.
You're a little slow in the morning, Brugger. You can't take me downtown.
Are you off your rocker?
Jason was killed 3 miles out of your territory. You couldn't hold me if you wanted to guess my weight.
All right, smart boy, don't throw the book at me tomorrow. I'll make you eat the print.
I'll be around.
We'll put a tail on you. And when you make a slip, we'll pick you up.
Your guys couldn't catch a fly in a glue factory.
Then you're safe if you can sprout wings.
I knew after Brugger left, I'd have to shift into high gear. There were lots of questions floating around, and there were no answers. Why did Vicky Jason let homicide believe I was the other love? It didn't figure unless she was trying to plant a motive on me for killing her husband. Hello, Professor. I was just thinking about you.
Hello, Dennis. I see you emerged from last night's adventure in a reasonably whole condition.
No, I'm not so sure about that.
What happened?
I got mixed up in a divorce scandal.
Oh, I'm afraid I can't help you much there.
No, especially not since it turned into a murder rap. Homicide's trying to pin it on me.
Brugger wasn't whimsical?
No. Say, you remember that dame I was to take off of Spadley's hands last night? Well, her name was Vicky Jason. All I was supposed to do was to take her out to a yacht party and watch her have a good time.
Well, were you supposed to stop her or help her?
I never found out. When we got out there, nobody was on the yacht. She went into a desert island routine.
Would you prefer to omit the rest?
Oh, no. She gave me a big bear hug and threw me a big fat kiss. Then her husband and Spadley came barging in with a camera.
Did you try to explain the situation to the husband?
Yeah. I went back this morning, tried to talk to him. He wouldn't listen. He was dead.
Oh, I should have known.
Jason's niece, Sheila Bates, came in and found me with the body. She's hollering murder. Since she inherits all the dough, she's got a loud voice.
She seems to have a motive.
I don't know about that. Maybe so, but my money's still on Vicky. She told Homicide I was her big moment.
Looks bad, Dennis.
Yeah, it sounds like a family affair. But I got a hunch that guy Spadley's in for more than a fee.
Dennis, would you do something for me, please?
Sure, Sugar. What?
Would you take out an insurance policy? Somebody might need the dough.
Well, I think you mean that.
I do. Who's going to support me after you're gone?
Mr. O'Brien, I'm happy to see you.
Why? Did you buy another gun?
I just called your shop. I want to talk to you. Won't you come in, please?
Ask me again and I'll get the wrong idea.
Let's sit down, shall we? I'm going to shock you, Mr. O'Brien. I think you're innocent.
Should I say the same for you?
I mean, I don't think you killed my Uncle Arnold.
Lady, I've been sold on myself for a long time.
I know, but I wasn't. I was too fond of my aunt to believe it of her. But now I think she killed Arnold.
Why? Does she talk in her sleep?
No. Arnold talked in his diary. I found Arnold's diary this morning. I just got through reading it.
What did it say that won't make you blush?
It was the last entry, Mr. O'Brien. Arnold was afraid that Vicky was going to kill him if he went through with his divorce plans. I just couldn't believe it at first.
It happens in the best of families.
The diary's up in my room. I'll give it to you, but I want you to make a promise first.
Oh. So you got a price too, huh? Look, lady, I'm pushing a murder rap. I'll get what I want if I have to use my elbows.
I'll make it easier. I just want you to promise you'll never tell Vicky how you got it.
Okay, you got a deal.
But you can't let me down, Mr. O'Brien. Can I trust you?
On some things. Go get the diary.
All right. Excuse me. I'll save you this trouble, Sheila. Vicky, you heard? Enough. Now get out of here. I'll get out, and I won't be back.
She's got some ideas of her own, and I've got one for homicide.
Wait a minute, Denny. You don't believe her, do you?
What have I got to lose?
Me?
You're confused, lady. I like myself better.
That's not what I told the inspector.
I know. So stop quivering that lip and get me that diary.
Let go of my arm, Denny. I don't have a diary. Sheila made up the whole thing. She was lying.
She sounded awfully sure. She must have had a lot of practice. Come on, give.
All right, Denny. Throw your muscle around. But it's not going to get you anywhere.
All right. I'll let the boys down at Homicide try.
You'll be sorry. Now get out of here and leave me alone.
That's what you want? The diary could have been the real thing. But I knew if it fingered Vicky, she wouldn't give it up easy. I told Inspector Brugger the story and mentioned the diary. I could still hear him laughing. It sounded like a bottle being rinsed out.
Hello, O'Brien. You look like you got trouble.
I just made out a new will. I'm leaving it all to you.
What do you want?
A couple of words, maybe?
We'll take a whole sentence. I'm friendly.
That's good. Take your hand out of your coat, then.
It's heartburn, O'Brien. I never carry a gun. Don't take those kind of cases.
What kind of a case was that you roped me into last night?
Oh, that one.
Yeah. You got a nice smile, Spadley. Wonder how it'd look without teeth.
Look, O'Brien, you're in business for yourself. You know how it is. A buck's a buck.
And you don't care how you make it, huh?
Let's not get moral. You don't fit the part.
I don't shape up as a patsy, either.
I figured you needed the dough. Arnold Jason hired me to plant a correspondent with his wife, and you were handy.
What's the matter with your own boys? They out on strike?
Well, it's a matter of typecasting. You look better than anybody else.
Especially for a murder rap, huh?
Oh, now look, small time. If I could figure out everything, I'd close shop and start telling fortunes.
You'll do better if you start telling me about Vicky Jason.
I've already told you about her. What do you want now, a pencil sketch?
She told Homicide I was her 16-candle lover. Why?
Well, let's not get big-headed. She says the same thing about all the guys she goes out with.
Okay, so I flat her easy. Tell me something I don't know.
Why don't you ask her? Why should I explain for her bad taste?
Because maybe you were working together. Because maybe you had a deal to knock Jason off and make me the fall guy. So you wanted to make your story good, and you both told Homicide I did it for love.
That's a big statement, my boy. Maybe you better have some backing.
Maybe I've got some already. Sheila Bates and a diary say Vicky did it.
I agree, Vicky did it. But not with me.
All of a sudden, it came to you, huh?
No, I've been mulling it over for quite a while. But you know how it is when you're dealing with a woman like Vicky.
No. Tell me, how is it? Come on, what's your tie-in with her?
I got dealt in by the husband, that's all I know.
I'll bet your files prove you're a liar.
I wouldn't go near those, O'Brien. That's not ethical.
Especially if Vicky's name's listed, huh?
I wouldn't let you do that with a search warrant.
Hello.
Hello, O'Brien. This is Brugger.
How'd you know I was here?
I've had you tailed, remember?
Oh. Okay, so I'm here, but I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Don't hang up.
I know it's costing you a nickel.
It'll cost you more. Things are beginning to shape up.
All right, get to the point.
I took your advice, Father. That boat is inside our zone. You're on the hook again.
You better change your bait.
All right, we'll start with Vicky Jason. I just spoke to her. She must have loved you a lot. She wouldn't say yes for 2 hours. But she finally broke down and confessed that you killed her husband.
She's lying.
About her age, maybe, but not about you.
Brugger, trade your brain in for a dry cell. I told you before, get a hold of that diary.
We listen to all taxpayers, O'Brien. We picked it up an hour ago. Let me read you a passage from it.
You better be careful. This may be a party line.
I'll just read the last entry. It says, I'm going to trap Vicky with O'Brien tonight. They say he's threatened to kill me. I'm afraid something is going to happen. Now, we both know what happened, O'Brien. You tell me why.
Get hold of Jason's niece, Sheila, and tickle her for some answers. I tell you, that diary had a later entry in it, and it said Vicky was going to kill him.
That's a good story, but it won't hold up. Because the rest of the pages in that diary have been torn out. Now, you stay right where you are. I'm coming over after you.
If I held still for homicide, I'd have as much chance of making out as a barefoot boy in a basement full of glass. What did you find out about Spadley?
It's a success story. He started at the bottom, but worked his way up to a window shade and became a private detective. Now he's engaged to devote more time to keyholes than a locksmith.
How does he tie in with Vicky?
She and Spadley indulged in an adolescent romance while in high school, but she's been an old-fashioned girl ever since.
Old-fashioned?
Unfortunately, she drank too many of them with too many different men to suit her husband. He was trying to get a divorce long before you were inveigled into lending your involuntary aid.
Well, what held up the proceedings?
Sheila, their niece. After losing her parents several years ago, she moved in with the Jasons, who became very fond of her. But she had her aunt's ideas.
Well, they weren't hereditary because she's got some ideas of her own now. She's been hollering that Vicky killed her Uncle Arnold.
Vicky must be a little deaf then. She just filed a claim asking to be made Sheila's guardian.
Oh, now it begins to add up. That way she can control the dough that Jason left to Sheila.
Not quite. Sheila's old enough to choose her own guardian, and she's turning down Vicky.
Who does she favor?
Spadely.
What? Well, that's gonna bring on some complications.
They'll all be legal, though. She's eloping tonight with Spadely to Reno. She's at his apartment now.
I think I'll join them. Apologize for the intrusion.
Oh, we're just leaving, O'Brien. Can I do anything for you on the way to the door?
Yeah, you can hesitate. We're gonna stay a while.
Get out of the way, O'Brien.
Sure, as soon as you clear me with homicide.
I told you Vicky was your girl. Now use your head.
You used it the last time. Now I can't get you out of my mind.
Mail me a letter. Come on, Sheila.
I'll do that. I'll mail it care of the warden.
What's he talking about, Edgar?
A murder rap, baby. And it's gonna be harder to duck than a handful of rice.
I'll go along with that, Dennis.
Vicky, what are you doing here?
Just what do you think, darling?
Well, it's a little late. Sheila and I have made up our minds.
Just like you made up those stories, huh? Well, you're not going to get away with it. I'll tell Sheila everything.
Go ahead. Tell her you shot your husband.
All right. Break clean. Come out fighting.
You can't go with him, Sheila. He's responsible for Arnold's death. It was his idea from the beginning.
That's a lie, Vicky. You killed Arnold because you wanted to be trustee of his will.
While you're talking, Vicky, tell her you knew that Arnold was going to divorce you. Tell her why you had to kill him so you could become her guardian.
I'll tell her you promised to marry me.
You're just saying that because you're jealous, Vicky. You want to hurt me.
Not you, Sheila. Just him. He's not good enough for you.
You overrate me. We're in love, and we're going to be married.
You heard her, Vicky. We're leaving.
Yes, you're leaving, but in different directions. I'll swear that you killed Arnold with me.
Sheila, put the gun away.
Listen to her, Vicky. You've already killed one man.
There's no ceiling on it. You ruined one life, Edgar. That's par for the course.
Give me a break, Vicky. Let's make a deal.
I don't think so, Edgar. Stop where you are.
Vicky, I want you back. It'll be just you and me. I mean it.
Say it again, Edgar. I want Sheila to hear.
I want you back, Vicky. We'll take our chances together.
We already took them, and you lost.
Now, wait a minute, Vicky. I'll take out the marriage license and tear it up. Give up the gun now, lady. You won't need it.
I didn't think it would happen this way.
Well, don't worry, Vicky. Where you're going, it won't happen again.
Take her in and book her, Kelly, for the murder of her husband.
Don't feel badly, dear. Things could be a lot worse. You could have wound up married to that guy. I'm going to take her home, Brugger, okay?
O'Brien, tell me, what does a gal do with $500,000?
I don't know. Same thing she does with $500, I suppose. Only she looks better doing it.